I look at the price of things, whether it's eating out in a restaurant in the high street, whether it's going to the cinema, whatever it happens to be, and I say, we are paid really well, and we're balking at this, what we've got to pay. Think if you were working poor, or just poor, it is unbelievable what you pay for food. Takeaways, particularly.
Yeah.
You know.
I think, and this is the reason I wanted to speak about this story, is that we can often talk in very big terms about the economy, and this is the reality, right? Like, we talk about gas prices and global volatility, but this is families going without food. That's what this means. This government has presided over the biggest fall in disposable household income on record, bigger than post the recession, and what we're seeing is consistently a sort of protection of profits over people. So we removed the universal credit uplift last year. That was £1,000 out of the pockets of people who needed it the most. And now with these spiking energy and food costs, this is real life.
But do you think... also, sorry, I just want to make this point about real life and your environmental campaign and whatever it is. Real life, and we look, they remove this and they remove that, and Rishi Sunak has to balance budgets and whatever. Real life is allow us to frack, and we'll be like Saudi Arabia or Dubai or whatever it is. We will have money to burn. We'll have social care paid off. We'll have the NHS paid off.
That's absolutely not the case.
It is the case.
No, fracking is not a cheap form of energy. I don't know who's told you that, but that is simply not true. At best estimates, we might see some energy being produced in the 2030s.
But the revenue for the country. Revenue for the country.
That's not the way that this country works, and you know it. We saw those record profits from Shell last year. The UK is the most profitable country for oil and gas companies in the world. So anyone who tells you that fracking in the UK, which is wildly opposed by the public, as we know, that's what stopped it in its tracks previously, anyone that tells you that's going to bring down bills is lying.
Martin, I can feel you bristling, because you're a big fan of the idea of fracking, aren't you?
I'm a big fan of people having more money in their pocket. And I'm a big fan of net zero targets will cost every British household £1,700 per year, every year, until 2050. It's zealotry, it's ideology, and it's crushing the working classes. It's middle-class nonsense. It's not helping the working poor.
I find that
just
so
about managing will be even bigger.
I find it so patronising we say that the working class can't care about climate change. That's wild to me.
They care about surviving.
Care about their kids.
They care about heating.
You don't think they care about getting cheaper electricity from renewables instead of going after profits for Shell and the like?
The most expensive form of energy production is renewables.
If a middle-class Liberal said that working class couldn't care about climate change, they would be laughed out of town. That is patronising talk. You can both want cheaper bills.
Let's say if they had a choice about climate change or not skipping meals.
But that's a false choice, Eamon.
Yeah. I wanted to bring up that point, because going back to the food debate, quite often, as Eamon pointed out, the most expensive food is the most unhealthy food. And if people could go back to almost the wartime mentality of trying to make things last, because you can feed on a smaller amount of money. It's not necessarily easy, it's not necessarily fun, but it is possible, and you don't have to do it to the detriment of your children's planet.
But people are time poor as well, right? I mean, that's one of the problems. As you say, it's working poor. You know, these are people who are trying to make ends meet through multiple jobs. So it's time poverty as well as economic poverty. And that means things like, yes, sensible moves like bulk cooking and making the most of what's in your fridge. They simply don't have the luxury of time to take those steps.
No more green taxes.
Martin, it's just simply, you're making people make a false choice. And frankly, renewables and insulation will bring down bills. Not only
who pays
cheaper
for the insulation?